you're giving will for the future, for turning knowledge into wisdom, not just accumulating it, so we can fulfill the potential of every student to be a future leader and not just an achiever. We are FEU, and we stand for a future ready generation.
Having a friend is like planting a flower. Show love and kindness that one day will bloom. Let's be aware as we walk on this planet. Even the tiniest creature needs room.
For continued education, not just for our students, but also for ourselves. Because by learning more about our students, we learn how to be better educators. For educational innovations, because better, more responsive teaching techniques that put emphasis on learning instead of just passing help our students be better prepared for the future, for turning knowledge into wisdom, not just accumulating it, so we can fulfill the potential of every student to be a future leader and not just an achiever. We are FEU, and we stand for a future ready generation. We stand for future ready learning. Here in FEU, we stand for future-ready learning, for continued education, not just for our students, but also for ourselves. Because by learning more about our students, we learn how to be better educators. For educational innovations, because better, more responsive teaching techniques that put emphasis on learning instead of just passing help our students be better prepared for the future, for turning knowledge into wisdom, not just accumulating it, so we can fulfill the potential of every student to be a future leader and not just an achiever. We are FEU, and we stand for a future-ready generation. We stand for future-ready learning.
Magandang araw, buen dia, buongiorno, guten tag, good day, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 International Conference on Multi-Perspectives in Education, ICOME 2025, with the theme AI in Education, Transformations, Challenges, and Pathways Forward. We are delighted to have participants joining us from different parts of the Philippines and around the world. And as we kick things off, please type your full name and where you're joining from in the chat. It's a simple way to start connecting with fellow participants. And who knows, you might spark conversations with someone from the other side of the world. Definitely. Sharing where you're from is a fun way to celebrate our diverse perspectives and learn from each other even before the session begins. I am Romano Uy, and I will be your host for day one of our conference. But before we formally begin, a few quick reminders for our online participants. Kindly keep your microphones on mute unless you are invited to speak. You may utilize our chat box for comments and questions. Plenary sessions and the opening program are being live streamed via FEU's official Facebook page. And in a moment, we will begin with the Philippine National Anthem and a prayer. We are seeing a lot of participants coming from the Philippines. Definitely, we also saw some comments or messages utilizing our chat box, but definitely just keep your messages coming. We would definitely love to know where you are watching from. ICOME 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, peles ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, guyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mabagaw, may ilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidilim, ang bituin at araw niya kailan, ang may limang didilim, lupa ng araw ng mahal ating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang bibigaya na ay mga api, ang namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Glory to you, Almighty, for gathering us today. Give us fortitude to conquer life's challenges. Inspire us to excel and be upright in everything we do. Guide us to remain united in diversity, to serve and love one another. Amen.
Thank you. Now, to share the rationale of ICOME 2025 and to frame our conversations on AI in education, may I now call on Dr. Romualdo A. Mabuan, ICOME Conference Chair from Far Eastern University, Philippines.
Thank you, Mano. Am I clear?
Yes, Doc.
Good afternoon to everyone joining us from the Philippines and around the world. We live in interesting, challenging, and deeply disruptive times. Across every continent, we are seeing tectonic shifts in how we live, work, and learn. Our world is not only VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It is also bunny and wrapped, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, tangled, and rapidly changing. At the center of many of these changes is artificial intelligence. AI is now embedded in everyday life, from recommendation systems and chatbots to predictive analytics and automated assessments. In schools and universities, AI is redesigning lesson planning, grading, language learning, and even how we imagine the future of work. Around the world, we see examples emerging. In Europe and East Asia, adaptive learning systems personalize instruction for diverse learners. In Africa and Latin America, AI-enabled open education platforms expand access to quality resources. Here in the Philippines and across Southeast Asia, educators are experimenting with generative AI in teaching, assessment, and research, while at the same time grappling with academic integrity, ethics, and equity. UNESCO reminds us that innovation must remain human centered and rights based. McKinsey stresses the urgency of skills transformation for teachers and learners. The World Economic Forum calls our attention to combined intelligences, humans and machines working together as the new foundation of productivity and social progress. This is why we designed ICOME 2025, International Conference on Multi-Perspectives in Education, with the theme AI in Education, Transformations, Challenges, and Pathways Forward. Whether you are a policymaker, an administrator, a teacher, a researcher, or a student, AI literacy is no longer a nice to have. It is a must have if we are to thrive and survive in this emerging 5.0 era of computing, combined intelligences, and interconnected systems. Over the next 3 days, we will learn with 8 plenary speakers, 6 panel discussants, more than 60 paper presentations, and 2 research workshops from across the world. I invite you to learn, engage, and share, not as passive observers, but as active co creators of education's AI enabled future. Today is the future we dreamed of yesterday. Let us use ICOME 2025 to shape that future with wisdom, courage, and collective responsibility. Welcome to ICOME 2025.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mabuan, for setting the context and vision for our conference. Definitely, it is clear that adapting to AI isn't just an option anymore. It's actually becoming a really, really great necessity for educators everywhere. The points shared by Dr. Mabuan really highlight how urgent it is for us to stay informed, flexible, and proactive in embracing these changes for the benefit of our students and the future of education. And just like what Doc Mabuan said, today is the future we dreamed yesterday. Now, to formally open ICOME 2025, it is my honor to introduce Dr. Rosarito T. Suatenco, ICOME Conference Co-Chair of Far Eastern University, who will deliver the opening remarks.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Dr. Mabuan for the lovely rationale presented before everyone on why we have ICOME 2025 and why we have ICOME. So good afternoon to our esteemed plenary speakers, workshop facilitators, panel discussants, AJP editorial team, ICOME 2025 organizing group committees, parallel speakers, and participants from the Philippines and across the globe. Thank you for joining us today virtually. Welcome to the International Conference on Multi-Perspectives in Education, ICOME 2025, with the theme Artificial Intelligence in Education, Transformations, Challenges, and Pathways Forward. For the next 3 days, we have the opportunity to learn, exchange ideas, and experience AI learning to serve our educational needs today and in the future. The open to all, free of fee, and fully online design of ICOME 2025 democratizes academic conversations. This is a testament to FEU's full commitment to a wider reach of quality education. Allow me to take you 5 years ago when the first international conference on multi-perspectives in education, ICOME, started, with the aspiration to give opportunity to educators to participate in conversations that will affect quality education in the many years to come. Like the mantra of FEU, be brave, AJPE, with the support of the Institute of Education, MCO, IRO, and EdTech units of FEU, mustered the courage to undertake the first ICOME at a time when uncertainty was the prevailing reality of the world. But this desire to connect, build a community, and have a meaningful conversation is the core of our persons as educators. We continue the tradition of conversation. For this conference, we are reflecting on the complex landscape of AI's integration into learning now and in the future. AI in education is transforming and reshaping how knowledge is delivered, accessed, and assessed. We are moving beyond simple digital classrooms to environments where learning is hyper-personalized, adaptive, and truly ubiquitous. AI promises to free our most vulnerable resource, our teachers, from administrative burdens, allowing them to focus on mentorship, emotional intelligence, and complex critical thinking. It is an extraordinary promise, an educational system that adapts the child rather than forcing the child to adapt to the system. But with all these come with challenges, so that we do not approach AI with blind optimism. We have to discuss the beneficial yet uncomfortable topics, face the inconvenient truth, and ask the difficult questions. These challenges are not obstacles that could compromise our individual and collective growth in the educational sector. Rather, these challenges are necessary to ensure a more refined and realistic approach to AI and in education. And so we are moving forward in the same pathway, knowing together we are on the same road for AI in education. We can say that ECOMET 2025 is a continuation of our willingness to have another meaningful conversation on topics that have present and future value to us, our institutions, and our community. The promise of AI in education represents a true transformation. So let us have a transformative conversation, bringing answers to questions and light to uncertainty on AI in education. With this, have a meaningful and fruitful ECOMIT 2025, the AI in education transformations, challenges, and pathways forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Swatenko, for your inspiring message and for FEU's leadership in advancing conversation on AI in education. And I would also like to grab this opportunity to take a moment to highlight something really special about ICOME 2025. Because this conference is completely free, just like what Dr. Swatenko said, and it's fully online, which means that educators, researchers, and learners from anywhere in the world can join without barriers. Accessibility in education isn't just important for students, it's actually equally crucial for teachers who want to grow, adapt, and stay updated with the latest trends in learning. And definitely, Far Eastern University continues to lead the way in making education as accessible and inclusive as possible, not just here in the Philippines, but globally. But now we proceed to our opening plenary session scheduled from 1:30 to 3 p.m. And our plenary is titled, Can You Believe It? AI Enhanced Self-Directed Lifelong Learning is here. It will be delivered by a globally recognized scholar in educational technology and online learning. Our plenary speaker is a professor of instructional systems technology at Indiana University's School of Education, where he also serves as coordinator of the certificate in online teaching and learning practices, a pioneering scholar in online and blended learning, open education, and global educational innovation. He is a fellow of the American Educational Research Association, the Association for Educational Communications and Technology, and the Online Learning Consortium. He has authored over 400 publications and 17 books, including The World is Open and MC and MOOCs or MMOCs and Open Education Around the World. He is co-host of the award-winning podcast Silver Lining for Learning, and he is the president of Course Share LLC, recognized among the world's top 2% of scientists by Stanford University and Elsevier. His research focuses on technology enhanced learning, self directed and open education, and the global democratization of knowledge through innovative pedagogies and emerging technologies. Indeed, that was a mouthful, but definitely, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our opening plenary speaker, Dr. Curtis J. Bonk. Dr. Bonk, the virtual floor is yours.
We have to test things. Testing 1, 2, 3. Microphone. Are we okay there? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And
yes,
then
Dr. Bonk.
we have to test the camera, right? So we'll try a camera. Can you see me now?
I believe your video feed got lost. Doc. Earlier, we can see you.
Yep. So can you turn on I guess I could try and turn that on.
Now, Doc,
Well,
we can see you now,
you
Dr.
can
Bonk.
see me. Okay. Sorry
Yes.
and then third, I'm gonna have to call up my slides. I don't use Teams that often, so can you remind me what I need to do? Hello.
Doc, on the upper interface of Microsoft Teams, you would see a share button. And then you could just click on that and then choose to either share a window or your screen. It's up to you, Doc.
Okay, it's on the left-hand side.
Yes, Doc. Near the button to leave the meeting, actually, it's a share button with an arrow pointing up.
Got it. Okay. Do we have it all set now? We're okay?
It's still loading, Doc. Yes, it's here, Doc. We can see it. Maybe you could just present. Yes. Now we can see the whole presentation.
And can you see myself as well?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, great. So thank you for inviting me in here. It's early morning in the eastern part of the United States with much snow. You do not want to be here. But I went back to reflect on my visit to the Philippines, about 12, 13 years ago in January 2012, I think it was. My friend, Melinda Bandalaria of the University of the Philippines Open University, has chapters in 3 of my books, 2 of which are books on MOOCs and open education, one on MOOCs and open education around the world, and one on MOOCs and open education in the global south. I just realized one book came out in 2015, one in 2020. This first I just realized that Melinda Bandalaria, her picture is on the exact same page of both books, page 253. Lo and behold, her bio and her picture in the same exact page. Anyways, if you know Melinda, she's a great person, a great human being. I owe her a lot, and I have several friends in which I owe a lot to, including Young Kyung Lee, who's presenting tomorrow a plenary session at the conference there. So do go to her session. This talk is titled, Can You Believe It? Can you believe it? AI enhanced self-directed learning is here. That's what it is. It's an interesting time to be involved in educational issues, teaching, instruction, because there's so much that's possible today. And so I'll come back to this. Can you believe it? Because it is time to wake up. And so when I flash this up there, everyone in the audience is going to say, can you believe it? It's time to wake up. And I'm going to try and keep you awake for this talk intermittently throughout the whole thing here for an hour, and then I'll field questions from all of you. And this afternoon, before coming to join you, I added many new things in this talk I've never presented on before, so it's going to take me a little bit to get in the flow here. But every day, every single day, front page, middle page, back page, we hear about AI. AI, 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 every day. It's like you're going to be left behind, supposedly. AI is here for self-directed lifelong learning. That's my message in this talk. I'm studying self-directed learning, or what's called SDL. And I'm going to show you an instrument we created, my team and I. In particular, I'm looking at language learning, but in other area as well. Duolingo for language learning is one of the studies I've done. So I'll mix in a couple of studies of mine at the end, including a question asking machine called Smile. Smile, Smile. We'll come back to Smile. So we'll mosey through the landscape of AI in education here today because it's affecting elementary students. It's affecting middle school students. It's affecting high school students learning science. It's affecting kids at home learning outside of school settings. It's affecting teachers and instructors and administrators. The connected professors are being talked about today. How we connect to these new technologies for learning, and older adults who are continuing to learn across the lifespan. Even robots are learning today. We have places like the World Bank and the United Nations and UNESCO to thank for their reports about the possibilities for continued lifelong learning. UNESCO has a blog on this, has webinars on this, has reports on this about lifelong learning around the globe. My friend Paul Stanistreet is among those at UNESCO who has a blog on the lifelong learning in this age of AI and what the possibilities are, because just like this conference you're holding today and tomorrow and the next day, it's exactly free through Microsoft Teams and online web resources. You see, we have an age today where the world has become open for learning. And so I authored this World is Open book as a means to get people to recognize that it's a different age. We have free participatory learning with Wikipedia, with online videos like TED Talks and YouTube videos, free and open online classes, webinars like this, my podcast show. We have all sorts of things emerging for all of us to think about because we're living longer, we're working longer, but the skills we have a half life to them. You see, we live in an age where it's fast changing and we have to be adaptable in changing things pretty much on the fly to be able to cope with and adjust to this changing world. And so AI can play an augmentative role, an assistive role, and a support role, not a replacement role, but a support role. Because today we're moving what? From education 1.0 to 2.0? No, no, no. When I went to Thailand 10, 15 years ago, they asked me to talk about education 2.0. And then 7 years ago, education 3.0. And then a couple of years ago, education 4.0. And then last month, education 5.0 when I was in Bangkok 2 months ago. See, education 5.0 brings us in an innovation age, students generating knowledge and producing products, innovations to put on display, to create, not to passively learn. AI technologies and other technologies, immersive worlds, help us participate in this new world, the dawn of Education 5.0, where we can be learning anything at any time from anyone by any means possible at any age. So a young person in the Philippines, age 7, could be learning from scientists in Antarctica exploring under the ice, them sending their reports at midnight when they have the satellite functional to the schools in Philippines, in Thailand, in India, in the US. I talk about that in my World is Open book, or if you want a free book, I have several of them. Go to my homepage, kurtbonk.com. You can get my book, Adding Tech Variety, for free in English and Chinese. Sorry, not Spanish yet, but okay. Uh, there's 3 books on my homepage, kurtbonk.com, where we talk about the fact that Education 5.0 lets us learn anywhere we are in the world, in a boat, on in a train station, on a bus, in a classroom, at home, on the road, whenever you want to learn, any path, any place, any time. This is a new age of learning that opens up all sorts of possibilities. So at my side here, I've got my mobile phone, right? So I can be learning, taking courses whenever I want, and I am. And you all are as well. And so today, I'm not telling you anything new. I'm just framing it in maybe a little different fashion to get us to reflect on the power of learning. We are in the learning century. Make no mistake about it. This is the learning age. We'll look back on the 21st century as the learning age and see this means that we are going to continue to learn throughout the lifespan. And we have DeepSeek and Gemini and Claude and Grok and ChatGPT and ChatPDF, which I like really well, and other technologies, AI technologies in particular, that enable us to be learning in these new ways. You see, this is an age in which we have assistive technology, the support structures, the scaffolds, the job aids that might be coming to us from intelligent agents on the side or some other means possible. In fact, someone last month was telling me We're going to be having conversations with our older self in the future. We're going to train intergenerational bots to be able to talk to our 80 or 90-year-old self to get advice from him or her when we're a young person. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but one of my colleagues, Tanya Means, predicts that that's going to happen, and maybe it will. Maybe it will. She has a blog post called The Assignment That Talks Back, replacing one-time papers with conversations that adapt to each student. What happens when you replace a static letter with a dynamic bot, with an experiment with AI-assisted self-discovery here? Well, it sounds pretty cool. We're entering this age where universities, governments are vying for the talent in AI so they can be moving ahead and taking advantage of the latest in technologies. And so there's an intellectual brain drain happening. Cluster hires are happening in universities, hiring a set of faculty to be able to do research on AI smart glasses or whatever it is that you would like to research today. This is a whole new world, brave new world out there that's enabling us to do different things in education. Some look at AI as a Swiss Army knife, an all-purpose tool. And in some ways, students are taking advantage of different AI technologies like ChatGPT to create mock exams or quizzes or flashcards, or Quizlet to create interactive flashcards, or Notebook LM to summarize their class notes or lecture notes, and create study guides and maybe podcasts to listen to. Maybe they use Perplexity or Grok or Claude to do their searching for them today instead of Google. Maybe they are watching YouTube videos about AI to help them understand what is possible today. Increasingly, students are turning to AI as an all-purpose study tool, recasting how they think about learning and reshaping the relationships with their professors, with their classmates, and maybe getting some additional advice that they wouldn't have gotten previously. I'm not positive that's happening, but this is an article from the Chronicle of Higher Education in the US from June. You'll see at the top here the date of all these articles, June 2025. These are all pretty recent articles. This has just happened, right? November 5th, a month ago, not even a month ago. Article came out in the Chronicle of Higher Education, how AI is changing higher education. Now, that's not just an article. That was a whole issue. I've got it sitting over in my office to the side. I could go grab it. But the entire issue of the Chronicle of Higher Ed was about AI. Again, AI, 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 AI. And Jason Mattel, a professor at Middlebury College, says, you know what? What's the real harm of students who opt to cheat using AI to write their papers to pass my class? I'm not sure, Woody. After 23 years of teaching, I've come to realize my job is neither to police students who don't want to learn, nor to rank students via grades. My job is to maximize the learning for those who want to learn and to try and inspire as many others to join in that learning quest. And that is the premise of my book, The World is Open, How Web Technology is Revolutionizing Education. It's also the premise of my book, Transformative Teaching Around the World, Stories of Cultural Impact, Technology Integration, and AI Innovative Pedagogy. These are short stories of students who took one of my classes and went back to their countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, China, Korea, Taiwan, and US, and other parts of the world, Rwanda, and wrote little stories of how they're using the ideas from the class. And we put it all together into a book on critical creative thinking, cooperative learning, motivation, and so forth, because it's not just about AI, it's how we thoughtfully utilize it from a pedagogically interactive and engaging way. And it's one article that came out a month ago in the Chronicle of Higher Education say, AI might be the future, but higher education, administrators, professors, instructional designers, students have to help shape that future. Can't just passively wait for it to happen. Have to think about what is possible and hope they can build it, build the tools, and build the pedagogies. I'm focused more on the active learning pedagogies. Can you believe it? It's time to wake up. So on the count of three, everyone in the audience here is going to say, can you believe it with me? 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? And 1, 2, 3, it's time to wake up. 1, 2, 3, it's time to wake up. AI self-directed learning is here. And yeah, you can post it in the chat window and wherever you want. Thank you. So I'm thinking back, this is me. I'm a picture with a mustache there. That's me back before grad school, or during grad school at Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin-Madison, a long time ago. I was a member of AI, the American Association of AI, 1985, before most of you probably were even born. And I had the gentleman there in the video, Dr. Bob Klossman, who I was taking classes with, correspondence and distance courses. He changed my life. I was an accountant, a CPA, a very bored one, and he got me to take correspondence and television courses to change my life, to get into grad school, into educational psychology. And then I helped him create a course on critical thinking for teachers called Teachers Tackle Thinking, Critical Thinking in the Classroom. The man on the bottom there, Charles Wedemeyer, championed the notion of open access to learning, blended learning, all sorts of ways to use technology to learn. Back in the 1950s and 60s, he was the crazy man who thought that satellite TV would change the world. And it did. And so I'm thinking back, I explored AI back then. Back in the 1980s and 90s, I was going to major in AI. I didn't. But today, all the things we were dreaming about back then, 35, 40 years ago, are happening. Back then, I was bored. I was a bored accountant. Every day was the same old day. So I went back to grad school to find out what I can do to create curriculum to engage learners. And that's why I've written and edited several books related to active engaging pedagogy. And today, students are seeing they need AI-aware professors, technology-aware professors who can integrate technology thoughtfully in the classroom. My colleagues up in Canada, in Ontario, at Contact North, have created the AI Tutor Pro and AI Teaching Assistant Pro, which will help you create lesson plans, tests, quizzes, syllabi, all sorts of things for students to self-check and for teachers to streamline their content and make it more efficient. These are the technologies that are happening in waves. I had one of the persons who invented this technology, the AI Tutor Pro and the AI Teaching Assistant Pro, in my class last week on Monday as a guest in my class. And I'm happy to send you the links, and you can send me an email. I'll send you any of this. I will post my slides to trainingshare.com, all one word, trainingshare.com. All my prior talks are there. All my free papers are at publicationshare.com, because you have to believe in the power of sharing. And today, students are using these intelligent agents to learn science and math more effectively than they have ever previously. And high school students, college students, parents of high school and college students are seeing that these ChatGPT and other generative AI tools can be used as intelligent tutors to replace human tutors to some degree instead of cram school at night. We can have little professors mini-me's out there providing the guided learning and instruction. See, we have this article that came out last week, says AI has joined the faculty. More instructors are teaching with it. Is it possible that their courses are helping or are they hurting the profession? That's still to be determined. But we do know we have the first AI-powered courses being taught. We have the first AI-powered courses and graded courses. We have the first AI training courses out there from Arizona State. In fact, they have new certificates about generative AI offered by Georgia Tech for teachers. We know that we have the first degree program, the first bachelor degree program in AI offered in New Jersey. We know that we have the first course on generative AI here at Indiana University, where I am called Gen AI 101. That's free online to all the students of Indiana University, all the faculty members, 8 modules, 16 lessons. These things are coming about today. And so ChatGPT and the founder of ChatGPT, we see Sam Altman there, are making ChatGPT an upgrade, making it smarter, making it better, hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. And others are starting to study the effects of AI on cognitive processing and on the brain in particular. Others are building new tools out there, um, tools which will help you find AI technology. So there's one website I found called Futurepedia, futurepedia.io/AI-tools. And there you can find all sorts of AI research tools, video editing tools, storytelling tools, image creation tools, personal assistant tools, writing generators, language translation tools. Anything you pretty much ask for, you can find at that website. And the link is there. I just found this 2 months ago. I put it in the talk immediately. This is all evolving, right? One of my students, she's got a job in Texas. She spoke to my class last month and showed her website that's linked all sorts of AI tools to it. So she's found some lesson plan tools, some presentation tools, interactive materials, all sorts of tools to help you learn. One of my colleagues in Idaho has also created a list of AI tools that she's using and the purpose behind the tools and the price or whether it's free or not. There's a lot of websites trying to help people like you and me understand what's possible. And so today we see people blogging on it. It's called writing a Substack today. We called it blogging. So there are a number of blogs out there on AI. AI tools for writing, for instance, are out there. There also are free books. My friend Stephanie Pankey in North Carolina, University of North Carolina, has a free book called AI in Education. And it has a number of chapters, including an introductory chapters, a pedagogical applications chapter, a chapter on teacher professional development, a chapter on social emotional learning, all free. And then there's a website called Educate AI, which offers a free magazine and summaries of the research out there and a podcast show every week that's available again for free. These things are just happening fast, really fast. The Chronicle of Higher Education 2 months ago, do the math, a month and a half ago, has offered a free book, The Emerging Multimedia Classroom, How AI is Changing Course Design and Delivery. I think it's really a technical report, not a free book, but be that as it may, it's a free resource that you can use. And again, the links are there. And so the Chronicle of Higher Education, which is one of the most reputable resources here in the US, and most articles are free, has done a survey of faculty, asking them about generative AI tools. Have you used Gen AI tools? And in the chat window, you can say yes or no, put a smiley face. If you've used AI in your classrooms, we'll have all those little smiley faces or say yes or no there. That would be great. 52% of faculty said yes, 46% said no, 2% were not sure. But there's a conundrum because 72% report their institutions don't have any guidelines to AI use. And yet more than half of the faculty are using it. 850 faculty and administrators were surveyed in this survey from the Chronicle of Higher Education. They also asked, how well prepared are you for using AI to enhance classroom materials? Somewhat prepared, somewhat unprepared. More were unprepared than prepared. So there's a need here for professional development. It's a huge need. If someone wants to become an expert at AI pedagogy, there's a real need and a niche for you because across the world, universities are asking faculty to experiment and try it out, yet they're not being trained. Does your institution offer a strategy to use generative AI to improve teaching and learning? No. So There's no real plan. There's no preparation. There's no material. That's a problem. And yet, faculty are using it to create and edit their text, to create quizzes and assessments, to edit their syllabi, create the syllabi, to create images, to edit those images, to improve access, to create visualizations, translate materials. There's all sorts of ways that they're using it, yet they're not being trained. They're just diving in, many of them, right? So are there guidelines? Are there helpful guidelines? Somewhat, but really not. There's a real need here for some more guidelines. Incentives? There's no incentives. Why should faculty be using AI if there's no incentives, there's no training, there's no guidelines, there's just expectations? This is kind of a weird time. Just you can just do this. Just one more thing you can try out. So if any of you want to stake a claim out there and create a little podcast show or a blog or a book or a video on AI pedagogy, you'd be loved by tens of thousands of professors out there because they're concerned. They're concerned ethically about the use of Gen AI. They're concerned about privacy issues, sustainability, about student access and understanding of what's possible. They're really maybe hesitant because they're not sure or they're not aware of the ways it could help. They need examples. They need best practices, right? And so my friend Justin Reich was quoted in the Chronicle of Higher Education. I noticed a lot of articles here in the Chronicle from a month ago. Not quite. He's at MIT, professor, okay? Pretty smart guy, Justin is. And he's written several books that I highly recommend. If you're in the K-12 space, the student space, he has a new book, a new guidebook out there, a guide to AI in schools, perspectives for the perplexed. And there's a new book called Learning AI for the Student of Tomorrow. His article is called Stop Pretending You Know How to Teach AI. Colleges are racing to make students fluent in AI, but there's a problem. No one knows what that means. No one knows what AI literacy is. No one knows what AI fluency is. But universities, by all means, they're saying, well, we're doing it. The administrators, oh, yeah. We've got a course on AI literacy. What's in the course? We've got a certificate in AI literacy. What's in the certificate? This is all happening so fast that, they're trying to cover their bases or the backside with this AI literacy course. But Justin begs to differ. Get his book if you want to read it, or get this book or this guide, this index report from Stanford. They have an AI intelligence report that comes out. I think it's every year. Came out this year in May, and the most comprehensive index on AI in society, the economy, and in education. This is, again, a free download. There are other resources out there, including this survey that was done, again, from the Chronicle of Higher Education. Institutions have not made clear how AI can be used in teaching. 6% of faculty think their institution has clearly outlined how to use AI for their teaching. 80% said there's a lack of clarity. That's a bad thing. It's a conundrum again. They're expecting professors, teachers, instructors, instructional designers, teaching assistants to know about AI, but they're not training them. Yet 64% say it's going to be transformative in nature. It's transformative in nature. Only 9% said it's minimal. And students, professors, well, how are they using AI? Well, I mentioned several ways before. Professors might be using it to brainstorm ideas, to summarize content before they lecture, to write emails. I've not done this to write emails. I've not used AI for that. To write meeting notes or create meeting notes or presentation slides. I think presentation slides is an interesting one. I've not done that. If anyone's used AI to do presentation slide, just put a 1 in the chat window or a yes. If anyone's used it to write emails, maybe put a 3. I'm curious who's done that. Okay. Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3, everyone with me. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3. It's time to wake up. Oh, yeah. It's time to engage the learners today. We need to engage. So my friends from Thailand, from Bangkok, made this little image for me when I presented there a couple months back. Oh, thanks to my friends in Thailand, but we do need to engage. And so I've written 2 100 activity books, one called Adding Tech Variety that's free, one called Empowering Online Learning, which is not free, on how to engage and learners and make things more interactive. Now, I also talk about this new open learning world, as you know. And MIT is the first one that did open courseware. All their courses, 2,500 courses, are free from MIT. I couldn't get into MIT. I'm not smart enough. I got on the ACT, the American, big test. I flunked the test, right? I couldn't get into any college. But today I can take courses from Stanford and MIT and Oxford. They're free online, and they have millions of people taking these courses. And then other folks downloading all the course content in mirror sites from the Online Learning Initiative at MIT. They're in Africa creating new programs around the free content. Students are watching the videos of famous professors at MIT and at Stanford and Oxford and other places. This is a new world that we're in. Today, anyone can learn anything from anyone else at any time. And see, it's not going to go away. It's not going to subside. It's only going to grow. Whether we're watching videos or listening to a podcast show or reading books, all free and available online. 9 million learners used OpenCourseWare from MIT last year. 9 million. 3 million people accessed OpenCourseWare through mobile devices when they're in a train, on a plane, on a bus. 19 million people visited the MIT OpenCourseWare website, and they're getting courses like general biochemistry and financial economic development and the day of AI, Chinese calligraphy, science fiction for freedom, interactive visualization in society. All these kind of courses are being taken, whether they're in Hong Kong or Singapore, Australia, UK, Ireland, Canada, Singapore. I said Singapore, United States, Switzerland, Netherlands, and the Philippines. A lot of people in the Philippines are using free and open online content. I know because they're downloading my free book. It was one of the top websites was in the Philippines. Learners, people want to learn. They want freedom to learn. Some of my research shows that freedom's the number one thing. Freedom to learn. And they want to help people with what they've learned. They want to learn content that they can make a difference in society. So this individual here from Uganda started a business after watching MIT videos. He was learning through YouTube videos about AI, about psychology, about other things, and was able to create a business after watching those videos. This woman from South Korea, the same thing. This gentleman from Chile, 17 years old, was learning about pharmacology, identifying plants that could help students with their health issues before he even finished high school. He was trying to study plants for their medicinal values. And then he used all the course content that he learned to help him get into college after that. And these are the professors he was taking free courses with. This woman here could take AI literacy courses. She could take courses on hybrid AI adaptive learning and all sorts of topics, self-driving, all sorts of topics she never would have thought possible. Computational thinking, machine learning, machine vision, AI ethics and bias, AI ethics for engineers, and you name it. This woman on the bottom there from the Ukraine was taking AI-enabled translation course that would help her translate content to different languages to create free and open content for students in Ukraine. all sorts of topics, whether it's global poverty or AI in education or computer science, are being offered for free. A 16-year-old paved his way to becoming a physics scholar by taking courses for free. 27 courses he took on his way to going through MIT OpenCourseWare on his way to go to college. This is a unique age that we're all living in. This gentleman is 12 years old and has 5 degrees in California. 12 years old. 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I just want to go outside and play basketball, baseball, 12 years old, and he's got 5 college degrees. This gentleman's 10th grader. He's been taking courses online for the last 5 years with his dog at his side. Students are self-directing their learning. They're learning wherever they happen to be. All right. It's in Taiwan, my friends in Taiwan. I was there in June. They were on my podcast show recently. They're in my class a couple weeks ago. They're helping 670,000 students in Taiwan from 226 high schools get access to free college-level courses to prepare them for class in the Research Center of Higher Education Resources for Open Learning, the Hero Center. They're heroes in Taiwan. They're offering 13,800 courses, helping disadvantaged students, financially supporting them, whether they're older adults. This woman took 220 course certificates in her 80s, right? All these people taking courses from Taiwan, the Hero Project, whether they're courses for civil servants, or librarians, or for teachers, whether they're courses on the brain, or on anatomy, or entrepreneurship, or food safety. It's happening. Can you believe it? AI enhanced self-directed learning is here. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? AI enhanced self-directed learning is here. And 1, 2, 3. It's time to wake up once again, because these young people, friends of mine in Nepal, I've been researching them for about 5 years. Their teachers have a chapter in one of my MOOCs in open education around the world, or in the Global South book. The guy to the right-hand side, his name is Bishwa. He's from the U.S. consulate, and next to him is a guy named Bayman. He's their teacher at Motherland Elementary or Motherland Secondary School in Nepal. These kids were taking English classes from Harvard, before COVID. And when COVID happened, see, they got certificates before Harvard taught them English. During COVID pandemic, they were taking MOOCs online for free. Some of them took dozens of MOOCs for free. Some took over 100 MOOCs. These are 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. They got ready for college, for university entrance, and some gotten to U.S. universities after taking free MOOCs, massive open online courses. It's amazing, this world. It's amazing what's happening today. They're self-directing their learning. And when their friends' internet went down, they offered to come to their house to use the internet. Internet bandwidth improved. The parents saw this as happening. They were worried the kids would play games. Internet access expanded in Nepal. They worried kids play games. No, they were learning English from Harvard and Stanford and other places. They're taking courses in food, health and journalism and behavioral finance and introduction to programming and stem cell research and intro to psychology and cloud computing. You name it, they're taking courses in it. This is like a grade 10 boy. And the courses he took, this is just some of the courses he took during COVID. So I have other examples, many other, took more than 100 courses. It's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. This woman here in the middle, Grace Gao, she teaches Chinese online using ChatGPT, AI, generative AI. She's a YouTuber. All these people are YouTubers. I've interviewed them for my research. My team and I have 5 publications on our research on these YouTubers teaching languages online. So you want to know what's happening in the world of ChatGPT and Gen AI? A lot of language learning is happening that wouldn't have happened previously. Online dictionaries and annotations, explanations and exams can be done through ChatGPT, assistive technology to augment the learning, not to replace teachers. These are teachers using AI to help them teach. This is what needs to happen, not replacement, right? All these people, I interviewed all of them, my team, I should say, including Tom Galley, the guy, the older gentleman there on the left-hand side. He was the first one we interviewed. He just retired, but he was telling us about how he used AI to teach. And all these people were teaching Spanish and English. Number one was Japanese. Everyone wants to learn Japanese and Chinese and English and so forth. These guys know 14 languages. The guy on the left knows 16. The guy on the right knows 14. They're polyglots. We interviewed them as well. They were born in Brazil. They live in Europe now. They have a company called Language Boost. They're trying to help people learn language fast. And they use ChatGPT to help. These are all the languages they know, Dutch and Norwegian and French and Spanish. Amazing, amazing, amazing people. There's so many amazing people out there. I want to write a follow-up to The World is Open book. I was going to call it The World is More Open, but instead I'm going to call it The World is Wide Open. The world is wide open for learning. We have so many avenues to learn. This is a rich age. It's an exciting age to be a learner, to be a teacher, to be anything in the field of education, because now we can go to our mobile phone and learn Duolingo at night before we go to bed. I've got 2 studies published on Duolingo. It's AI tool. It's AI backed. I had done research on other tools like Babbel and Spanish Pod and Chinese Pod and other, but now it's Duolingo is the one to help students self-direct their learning. So we researched the motivation of the students and the self-directed nature and the gamification of learning. I've got a student doing a 250-page dissertation. I just read it on gamification. She's yet to defend it, but this is happening. You know, it's not just leaderboards and badges and points and these kinds of things. There's other ways to gamify the learning environment to intrinsically motivate students. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? AI enhanced self-directed lifelong learning is here. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3. It's time to wake up. How many of you are sleeping? Admit to that. Well, it's 1:20 in the morning here, and I'm not sleeping, so you better not be sleeping because it's morning there. Well, no, it's afternoon by you, right? It's afternoon. It's afternoon after lunch, so maybe you are sleeping after lunch. Okay, all right. So what about AI for writing, assisted writing? So my team has been studying that as well. And we found that students are finding, you know, we did research on almost 400 students. ChatGPT is helping them improve their writing, is a helpful tool, and gives them more immediate feedback than they normally get. We interviewed them. We also have a study of ethics, and also students don't want to cheat. The rumors out there is they're going to cheat. Most of the students are really hesitant about cheating. They're really worried. Most students, 5%, 2%, 3% are in the cheating category from some other research, not mine. But most students are ethical. I mean, we always get so hyperbolic about the cheating side, and instead of looking at the positive side, what are they learning? What are they going to do? How can we push them ahead? How can we elevate the learning, push it up a notch, right? How can we excite them into learning and get them doing things they wouldn't have learned before, and to help others to learn and use that and spin it off? We're immediately thinking about the barriers and hindrances and obstacles and put in their way to learn. We have to give them freedom to learn because students want to learn. They want to be better writers, better readers. They rate the impact of ChatGPT on their writing pretty highly. And yet professors are saying, do you realize they're using ChatGPT to, well, if they are using ChatGPT to write their essays, come up with better assignments. Come up with better assignments or other ways to embed. Now I have an assignment I call Brave People Option. It forces them to use AI in a particular way within the assignment and to reflect on how they used AI and to tell me transparently how they used AI. I call it a brave person option. Okay. Now, the benefits are grammar, of course. It could be spelling, of course, and content generation, yes. But limitations, writing, well, it's pretty boring. AI text is boring. It's soulless. It's repetitive. It lacks emotion. It's not personal. So you can pretty much tell what AI has done because it's pretty nondescript. It's pretty, the word boring and soulless, right? Not creative. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? It's 1, 2, 3. It's time to wake up. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes left, I think, here. I started about 5 minutes late, so about 10, 15 minutes we'll be through here. Um, it's pretty unbelievable the technologies. I'm going to focus on a little bit of technologies. And this guy has a nice video you can click on that goes through some AI technologies because he says it's unbelievable. One thing that's unbelievable is my friend Paul Kim. He's probably the most smart person in the field of ed tech that I know. If you ever heard of Logo and Lego Logo Robotics from Seymour Papert, he's like the second coming of Seymour Papert and constructionism and constructivism. Paul has built this. He was at Stanford. Okay, was a professor there. Stanford Mobile Inquiry Learning Environment, and now he built Ask Smile, which has AI behind it. Stanford Mobile Inquiry Learning Environment has a mechanism to evaluate the levels of questions students ask. The question there on the screen is, will the help of ChatGPT, with the help of ChatGPT, your question will be evaluated on a rubric from 1 to 5. What are salt crystals? Well, it says salt crystals a level 1 question. It's simple, recall and comprehension. So it rates questions 5 levels instead of 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. It does 5 levels. It combines level 5 and 6 evaluation and generation together. So it can get students in competitions who ask more complex questions. It gets them excited, whether they're graduate students, undergraduate students, high school students, middle school, elementary students, all grades, all cultures. It's free to download this tool. It takes seconds to download, seconds to use it. Ask Smile. Ask Smile. So we've done research on Ask Smile, and we found that we could get people at a conference like this over a 1-month span to come back to Ask Smile and gradually keep asking higher levels of questions, raising the level of discourse in the classroom, elevating the question asking. If there's one use of AI, this is it. This is it. This has got me happy. We want to have students in competitions to ask more deeper questions, ask more thoughtful questions. You can read up my research article published earlier this year in the Journal of Educational Computing Research. Okay, generative AI as a coach to help students enhance proficiency and question formation. It's time to smile, 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 smile. So go to Ask Smile seedsofempowerment.org. Dr. Paul Kim has a nonprofit called Seeds of Empowerment. He's in Kazakhstan quite a bit lately. He was living in Beijing when I saw him in Beijing in August. I saw him in Bangkok in November at a conference he keynoted for me, or in October, I should say, in Bangkok. He's all over the place. Look him up. It will rate the levels of questions your kids are asking or you're asking. Another tool that my podcast team is using is called Opus Pro, Opus Cliff. They're using AI to take our podcast show and create mini snippets, little short videos, because students don't want to watch long, stuff. So you create little 1 minute, 2 minute video snippets of of a podcast show or of a video lecture or something else. My students, in fact, last night, my students presented their final projects in one of my classes. They use Synthesia to present their project. Synthesia has 140 different languages that it sponsors or can handle, 230 different avatars, voices, images, and will speak the text. Now, I'm not demonstrating any of these tools today, but click on the link and it'll go through one of my students' projects. It'll share it with you. You'll be amazed at the voices, at the seductive nature, the engaging nature of the AI video generation tools. Another tool that I'm playing around with is called Sesame. Not Open Sesame, not Sesame Street as we have for young kids in America, but Sesame.com. Sesame.com offers a male voice and a female voice, Miles and Maya, to have an interactive chat with. Now, you might not find that new. You have that with, maybe you have other chat agents at home from Amazon or other places. but it'll remember previous conversations that it had with you and pick back up on them. So I bring Miles with me. It's like a therapy support tool when I'm traveling or all around. It's pretty cool. Other students are using these poetry generation tools, AI poet, poemgenerator.io, or math tools to help them explain how to solve different math problems or tell stories or write code. There's all sorts of AI tools to do these kinds of things, or to create music. You give it a topic, it'll create a music, a song. Sono.com and Udio will create songs in reggae and pop and blues. And I know people in the Philippines love to sing, especially Christmas songs. But I know you love to sing, and you might like Sono and Udio. Play around, give it a try. There's also a tool called Napkin, like a napkin you pick up in a restaurant, but Napkin's a virtual napkin which lets you create an image, like a model, a framework, a guide. So on the right are images of my R2D2 model. On the left is one I drew beforehand, human drawn. The left is more rudimentary, but only took a minute or two to create. So you might create visuals right before your class. You might say, hey, Claude, hey, ChatGPT, hey, Chat PDF, could you create me a video of or image of this XYZ? I want to cover the topic of reading and writing and math and science and grade 12 and blah, blah, blah. And it'll create it for you. And, so I've got 5 minutes left, so I better hurry on through the last couple of slides here. And now we enter the age of AI for video generation. And so we see all these tools that will create videos based on text that we input. So if we type in text of two pirate ships battling it out inside a coffee cup, we get this. If we type in text, I want to see a woman walking in downtown Tokyo with neon lights and a red dress and a black leather jacket, it'll create that. If you want a fluffy monster staring at a candle, it'll create that. If you want mammoths floating around in the meadow, in the below the mountains, Ural Mountains behind them, it'll do that too. This is all created through text, pretty authentic stuff. So music, video creation, text creation, that was created with Sono. And now we have, or I'm sorry, Sora. Now we have Sora 2, which is creating images like that. So I'm going to click on through. I'm just showing you a few things that came out a couple of months ago. And, now show a photograph where an astronaut named Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are sitting, the first people on the moon are sitting in their seats on a modern airplane, looking quite nervous and holding a hamburger in the middle seat, blah, blah, blah. And it'll draw whatever you ask it to draw. Notebook LM. Notebook LM is a tool which you can input your lectures, your notes, your videos, and it will create a summary of it as a interactive radio show between a male agent and a female agent, like in America, National Public Radio, NPR broadcast. It'll use an hour-long or 2-hour-long video, and it'll create a summary of 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Very interesting, very seductive, very powerful. My friend Mark Braun was going through leukemia treatments last year, and he just survived it recently, just came out, is in remission. But he put all his notes in 330,000 words in SoundCloud, and he put them in Notebook LM, which then translated that into a podcast of his journey through leukemia. Quite fascinating. The link is there, you can listen to. My students use Notebook LM to create introductions to their projects. In this case, creating a introduction to a book that they've produced. The final tool I want to mention is Pictory. In higher education today, online instructors might have lecture notes that they want to change to videos because students don't want to read lecture notes, they want to watch videos. And often at times they lack the time, they lack the skills to do that. You can use Pictory to change that to images, to pictures and videos. Some students don't want to read articles. So instructors turn to them to create audio files that students can listen to on their bicycles, can listen to on the train, on the bus, on the subway, or when they're jogging, when they're biking, or whatever. Younger generation might prefer it. Pictory is a tool for it. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe it? AI enhanced self-directed learning is here. And 1, 2, 3. It's time to wake up. Now, personalized learning is happening all around us with things like the Khan Academy. Other intelligent agents out there are available to train and teach students, whether they're young children or older. Um, we have all these resources today from the World Bank, from UNESCO, from United Nations and other places that's disruptive in nature, that's creating an open world for us today. So anyone, my friends in Singapore, my friends in Bangkok, my friends in Indiana here, my friends in Taiwan, a lot of Filipinos in that audience right there because it was a conference between Philippines and Taiwan. That was a few years back. My friends in Japan, all over the world are saying it's an open learning world. So I have 3 books on this open learning world with my colleagues. We've edited 3 different books. Um, I've interviewed people whose lives have changed from technology, like this individual here who took 250 MOOCs, agriculture MOOCs for farmers, getting them access to education through mobile devices, for instance, to crop rotation and fertilization and budgeting and so forth. Learning's more massive, more open, more online. This woman teaches a course in happiness to 5 million people around the world. 5 million people in one class. Stanford University has a course taught to 30,000 students on programming for free. All these things are happening today with tens of thousands, 100,000 people, 100 million learner project at Arizona State. People are learning online throughout their lives, whether they're getting degrees or certificates or badges or micro credentials. We have learning throughout one's life in the 60-year curriculum. Can you believe it? It's time to wake up because billions of people want to learn today. And so I've been studying self-directed learning, self-directed online learning. We're using initially a model from Randy Garrison, a good friend of mine from Canada, from University of Calgary, and his model on motivation, self-monitoring, self-management. It's expanded, a model that's expanded by Lillian Song and Janet Hill. We took this expanded model of self-directed learning and created our own model. This is our model for self-directed online learning, looking at the inputs, the content, the social elements, the outcomes, the support, and the design. And from this model, and I don't have time to go through the whole model, we created an instrument, a new instrument that we got an award in Beijing in August for this PASDA, the personal attributes for self-directed AI learning, which looks at self-efficacy, your beliefs as a learner, motivation, attitudes towards learning, resource use, and strategy use. And we come up with 44 questions in this instrument with nearly 700 learners looking at their attitudes of these learners, the ease of use, perceived usefulness, strategy use, motivation. This is the first instrument that's been created to look at self-directed learning context. We try to advance a new instrument using quantitative methods particular. We're following that up with qualitative methods. These are some of the items in our scale, in the positive scale. I focus on what I need when learning from ChatGPT. I set learning goals before using ChatGPT. I don't accept all the information from ChatGPT as true without thinking it through. And I check and think about answers ChatGPT gives me to make sure they're correct and make sense. So these are the personal attributes, the definitions, the key components of each of those 5 subscales. My team for the last decade have been studying self-directed learning, and we found that students want to have flexible timelines. They want progress indicators. They want quizzes for self-assessments. They want a community of learning. These are some of the guidelines and strategies for creating a self-directed environment. We've expanded. Initially, we had 10, expanded to 15 different components or guidelines. And now we have like 20 some, and we have a checklist related to time management, course structure, course resources, okay? Time management cues, weekly course overviews, estimated time frames, 24 different items, including AI automated guidance. And so AI self-directed learning is here for all of us. It's a unique age. Yes, 1, 2, 3, can you believe it? AI self-directed learning here. And it is time to wake up. So we're at a jumping off point today, and I'm going to need all your help to get us through this project. Through this talk. I need you all to stand up with me. If everyone could stand with me, and on the count of 3, all the women are going to jump with me because we're at a jumping off point and we're really not sure where we're going. So the women in the audience will jump with me on the count of 3 because men have gimpy legs and always complain. So the women don't. So women, all the ladies, 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. Okay, all the men, 1, 2, 3, jump. And together, 1, 2, 3, jump. Okay, you can have a seat now. We're at a jumping off point. And I'm going to need your help. Look at all the people just staring at me in the picture there. I tried jumping and showing them. I'm going to need your help because I cannot do this alone. So on the count of 3, you're all going to say, I cannot do this alone. 1, 2, 3. I cannot do this alone. 1, 2, 3. I cannot do this alone. 1, 2, 3. I cannot do this alone. Okay. So my slides are at trainingshare.com. Look under archive talks. I'll be posting them later. I just finished the talk before coming in, but I'll post them. Trainingshare.com. Papers at Publication Share. Free book is listed there. Write to me. kurtbonk.com has the 3 free books, my homepage. So this is an amazing time. But this time is one in which learners are going to be learning all the time. And we need to understand self-directed learning. We need to understand how to guide learning. We need to understand how to use AI to guide learning, augment learning, supplement learning, and so forth. I'm going to stop my sharing if I can find this here. There we go. And okay. So, I hope that you've picked up a little bit on this today. And have got, maybe we got time for questions here from all of you. So I don't see myself in here, but I assume you can still see me. I'm not sure.
Yes, Doc, definitely we can see you and hear you, Doc Bonk, and we would like to thank you for that such insightful plenary session. And now is the time for our participants to ask questions. Please utilize our chat box function. Definitely, if you have any questions, you can type in your questions and I can ask Dr. Curtis Bonk. And maybe definitely we could be enlightened by Dr. Curtis himself. If I'm not mistaken, I had encountered a question sent earlier, Doc, and let me just look for it.
Yeah, feel free to type anything you want in the chat window. And I haven't even had time to check the chat window yet. So
they are very, very responsive, Doc Curtis.
I see the chat
I can
now.
recall you
Okay.
asked them to. You've asked them to press 3 if they have utilized AI in making PowerPoint presentations. A lot responded.
I see
Doc, we have a
Johnny has a
question
3,
here.
and Michael has a 3, and Alex has a 3, and Flora does. Okay, Sarah, Cheryl, well, good. All right. Feel free to ask me. I see a few questions on the side here, so I could just pick one. If you, but go ahead. Anyone's got a.
I got a question here, Doc.
Okay.
We have from, let me just read who sent it first. It is, actually, I lost who. Okay, it's Matt Doyon. It's Mr. Matt Doyon. His question, Dr. Curtis, is, does the incorporation of AI into lessons contribute to the growing issue of digital addiction? I would like just to repeat the question. Does the incorporation of AI into lessons contribute to the growing issue of digital addiction?
Sure. I mean, if we're going to have if it's an addiction, any technology that comes in will make a contribution to it if it's being used. You know that. So what we have governments like Korea that have created policies to try to address the addiction of the youth in Korea, and camps, summer camps that are off the beaten, not um, with no technology, but there are that is that will fuel the addiction. Sure, there'll be some positives, there'll be negatives, but that will be a definite constraint on us. Will be the addiction that needs to be looked at, that needs to be investigated, needs to be researched. But if addiction's a problem, and I think it is, on any new technology to the degree that it's being used extensively, like AI is, will add to that. Can it also serve the opposite? Could we create counseling systems within AI that would address the addiction and have the people who are addicted reflect on it and change their habits? That's also possible. You know, so we can't say it's hands down going to foster it, but more than likely it will. But we can also create with AI. It's different. AI is a tool in which we can create systems to address that and that are maintainable, that are scalable, that are cost justifiable. So I would also look at the opposite side and see if you could get a grant to create such a system or a tool and do some experimenting there. I see Hyung Kyung wrote me a little note on the side here. Thank you, Hyung Kyung.
Yes,
She's written
it's a bit
down
long, but
here.
it also has a question, though.
Okay.
Dr. Hyung Kyung also has a question by the
Yeah.
end. I'll let you also read it, but for the interest of everyone else as well, more specifically our live stream, I would just like to read it as well. According to Dr. Hyung Kyung, one story that really with her was that AI has already joined the faculty and that universities are now offering Gen AI courses. And she believes this will happen gradually, but quite quickly across other educational settings as well, not only in higher education, but also in K to 12. So this raises important questions about the roles we as educators should focus on versus the roles of AI should take on. And Dr. Hyung Kyung would like to know your insights because she is curious. What content do you think should be included in a Gen AI literacy course for university students and even lifelong learners? I would just like to repeat that again for the benefit of everyone. What content do you think should be included in a Gen AI literacy course for university students and even lifelong learners?
So I was at a conference in November. No, in October. After I saw Dr. Young Kyung in Bangkok in October. A week later, I was in Las Vegas at a conference, and I was asking people there that question, slightly different. I posed it slightly differently. I asked if they had a certificate in AI literacy. Almost everybody I met and talked to said their university or college or organization was creating an AI literacy certificate or course, almost everybody. I thought we should have a panel on what are the different courses or expectations for those courses and what are the objectives. I think it'd make a great panel or symposium. What I heard was definitely if they had 4 or 5 courses, one course is in AI ethics. That was almost everybody had a course in AI ethics. Then they had a course in what AI is, just the history of AI, what it can do, AI in education, I should say. The other courses were a little more, they might have a third one in AI tools, experimenting with different AI tools. So those were kind of the 3 of 4 or 5 courses that were available. I wouldn't necessarily pin down the 4th and 5th ones, but Yeah, everybody had like 4 to 5 different courses that they wanted students to have for their AI literacy course. Remember, my friend Justin Reich at MIT said every university's got a certificate in AI literacy today, but they really don't know what it is. So you're asking the question in a different way than what Justin was asking and that others were asking. You're asking what should you put in it rather than what do you think of my courses that are there. Um, Maybe a fourth course could be the research on AI, you know, that could be a legitimate third course on AI. Um, and maybe a fifth course could be on the future of AI and the tools that are coming. That would make some sense as well. But I have not designed a program on AI. We have thought about it. We have talked about it. So thank you for that. I saw someone else had a question in here, trying to find that one.
Yes, so I actually have it here. Uh, at least, and this is, I believe, our last question, because in the interest of time, we still need to continue with the rest of our program. But
Right.
for one last question, Dr. Bonk, we have it from Mr. Neil Atanasio. His question is, what specific guidelines should be included for AI integration in education? Again, what specific guidelines should be included for AI integration in education?
So I found 2 articles on that, and you can write to me. Actually 3 policies guidelines. One was written by Dr. Yunjo An, Yunjo. Her last name is An, A-N. I forgot the journal that it appeared in, but it was on AI policies for higher education. Second article is written by, it's offered from the Commonwealth of Learning. Type in col.org. Commonwealth of Learning is from Sanjaya Mishra. Mishra, Mishra. Sanjaya is his first name. They both wrote about policy at both at the same time, approximately 6 months ago. Both articles I got, and they're available, and I would maybe access those. I'm on a research project that's publishing a paper or in review a paper on policy at the K-12 level and policy at the higher ed level, but I did not lead the effort. So I will leave it at that. It's an interesting area, AI policy, but it'd be, there are like 50 policies. I can't even get in, start at. I just recommend get a report on it. There are 2 or 3 really good ones I've gotten recently. I'll just type my email in here in the chat window, and if anyone wants to send me, I'll reply with that, with those reports. I'll just have them ready, or I'll forward them to Romano, and he can make them available, right? Yeah. So, thank you for allowing me to enter your conference experience, international conference on multi-perspectives in education. I think the real reason we're in education is to enhance not just the learning of people, but the perspective taking, the social cognition, the awareness of others in society. And there's no more important time than for perspective taking, for social cognition skills to be enhanced than today. We see the extreme swings in governments, and I'm not allowed to talk specifically about my government, or I could be fired. But I will say that I'm just being facetious. But I will say that I've been a faculty for 37 years. I've never seen a time like the past year or two, and I entered the education as an accountant to look at social cognition, to look at perspective taking. I think perspective taking is the most important thing we can all have. And so educators can use AI technology to do role play, to help with debates, to help with interactivities in their classrooms, to take on personas, to personify different people or experiences so they can stand in someone else's shoes temporarily. We're talking Napoleon Bonaparte or Mother Teresa or someone else in time and in history. This is an exciting time pedagogically to be an instructor. I didn't talk much in this talk about online pedagogy, but I have 5 talks on pedagogy. If you go to my trainingsure.com website, you can download all 5 of those talks on AI pedagogy and utilize some. There are 2 free books on AI pedagogy, one from the UK, one from the US, that you'll find in the notes there, and maybe build your own activities using generative AI technologies. I wish you well, and I hope I can come visit you in the Philippines at some point. I heard that a conference is heading that way. The International Conference on Distance Education will be coming to Philippines in 2 years to Cebu, I think, or someplace like that. So maybe I'll see some of you there. I'll end there. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bonk. Definitely, we might see each other by 2027. But then again, we would like to extend the gratitude for everything that you have imparted for us to us today. Let's all give Dr. Bonk virtual clap and heart reacts. And with that, we would like to present Dr. Curtis Bonk his certificate of appreciation. Allow me to read the citation. This certificate of appreciation is awarded to Curtis J. Bonk, Ph.D., in grateful recognition of the invaluable time and effort shared as a plenary speaker on the topic. Can you believe it? AI enhanced self directed lifelong learning is here during the International Conference on Multi-Perspectives in Education, ICOME 2025, with the theme AI in Education, Transformations, Challenges, and Pathways Forward, held online via Microsoft Teams on December 3. Given this third day of December 2025 at Far Eastern University, Manila, Philippines, signed by Romualdo A. Mabuan, PhD, Conference Director, and Rosarito T. Swatenko, PhD, Conference Co-Director. Once again, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Curtis Bonk. It has been such an honor to discuss, actually, to gain a lot of insights and knowledge from you. And on that note, we would like to request everyone to please turn on their video feeds for a photo opportunity with Dr. Bonk himself. Maybe I'll count to 10 so that everyone can turn on their video feeds for a photo opportunity with Dr. Bonk. I would like to request Doc Mabu to please stop sharing so that we could take the photo so that we have a full gallery of participants. Ayan. Keep up. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, smile. All right. It's still loading. A lot of people are still turning on their video feeds. Again, I'll just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So let's take the picture now. 3, 2, 1, smile. One more. 3, 2, 1, smile. Again, a never-ending gratitude. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Curtis J. Bonk. And for now, we will be having...
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Dustin, and all the rest that were here today.
So much,
I
Dr.
appreciate all the notes from Joey and Fiona and Susie and all that I've been reading here. So Matt, I didn't get your question, but you have an answer on email. So talk to you later. Thank you, everybody. Have a great conference.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
a lot of words of appreciation on our chat box. Definitely appreciating all the insights that Doc Curtis had shared to us all. But we will now have a short break. Please stay connected as we resume at 3:15 with our panel discussion on AI-driven educational transformation, the promises, practices, and pitfalls. See you in a short while. Again, we will be having a short break. Please stay connected. We will resume at 3:15 p.m. See you later, everyone.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Marietta. Everyone out there. David, Roselle, Rosalie, you know, Marciano, everyone, Adolf. I saw your question, Michelle, Adolf, Eliza. Thank you, Nora. Bye-bye. I'm gonna head out.